Hello folks, this is Trasknari, and I know it is late right now. I just got back from the midnight showing of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I thought I'd give my review of it. I'm going to start this off by saying I am a huge fan of the comic series. I love the comic book series. I bought all the books as soon as I can. It's a great series, and that's where this review is coming from. It's coming from my perspective as a fan of the comic book. The first thing is that it really sticks close to the comic, and especially in terms of its style, where it will have captions and narrations, which I liked. And when I saw it, the theater was packed full of people who I knew read the comic because they're the people who are going to go see the midnight showing. So I could tell they were all laughing and stuff when the captions and such would appear. There's a couple cameos of the original art during flashbacks when told by Ramona about a couple of her evil exes. But it does stick very close to the story for the most part, especially during the I'd say first 3/4 of the movie. It sticks very close, but after there it deviates a little bit, and that's where I had a bit of a problem with the movie. There are only two things that I had a problem with. One, after around the point when Gideon gets involved in the story, and spoilers. Okay, slight spoilers here. Around the point in the story when Gideon gets involved, then the story deviates. In the movie, they don't do as much to make him seem like the big villain he is. I mean, he seems like a villain and stuff, but not as much in the comics, especially where the combat takes place. And if you've read the comics, you know what I'm talking about. The location where the huge epic confrontation is. They explain away. Well, they explain. What Ramona does is different in the movie, and they explain her her thing with Gideon. When she's going out with Pilgrim, like the why Gideon is still in her life, they explain that a different way. They keep the thing with Knives Chow going on for a lot longer than they did in the book, and they drop Envy's character out early on. They don't bring her back for when she reappears near the end in the comic, and I'm sorry I'm spoiling a bit for the comic and stuff. And the character development that goes on with Kim and Scott doesn't happen. I mean, he has a little bit of a character thing when after his big realization he talks to Kim, but only extremely briefly, rather than the huge scene he had with her in the book. Which, the thing is, the movie's long as it is, so I can see why they cut that, but still, it's something that was sad to see on the cutting room floor. The final battle with Gideon, I was a bit underwhelmed. I don't know, maybe just because it was so awesome in the comics, and Gideon was just so pure evil in the book. So, I was a bit underwhelmed by the Gideon fight, but, that's just me being critical. The only things I had a problem with were the deviations from the book near the end of the movie, and I really, really hate to say this, but I cannot stand Michael Cera. I'm sorry. I respect the guy. I know he works hard at what he does, but it's just the way he acts. Like the part, like he can do the kind of whiny out of it Scott Pilgrim. But I can see he's really straining himself to try and be badass Scott. And I respect the guy, but See, I don't have any. It's 2:45 right now, and I don't have any actors off the top of my head that could play Scott Pilgrim better. So I'm not saying that I could just pull them out of a hat. But I don't know. I just wasn't digging Michael Cera this entire movie. The rest of the cast was pretty good. The girl who was playing Kim was pretty good, but again, her character kind of faded. The girl who was playing Knives was good. Very close to Knives from the comics, so I liked that. The guy who played Wallace, oh my god, he was hilarious. He was... Every moment he was on screen, people were laughing. He really makes the comedy of the movie. But yeah, they deviate a bit. Where Scott gets his final powers near the end of the book comes from a different thing. And I'm going to say right here, how he gets his second sort of level up ability near the end of the story with against Gideon. I like what happens in the movie better, but what happens in the movie couldn't really... I don't know. I don't know if it would have worked in the book, but it kind of does make up a little bit for all the stuff that they cut out. So I'm just sharing because I'm going to be even here. I loved everything else about the movie, and my Steam keeps going off. I loved the mixture of the comic book style, the live action, and the lots of video game stuff. And it was really, really cool. The moment that the Universal logo came up in 8-bit format with the 8-bit Universal theme, everyone went crazy. So, to wrap this up, I enjoyed it. Was it the perfect adaptation of the books I was hoping it to be? No, but it does come pretty close. My only problems with the movie, like I said, at the very end, the stuff around the point where Gideon shows up, where they deviated, and some of the character development was gone. I did not like that, and I just didn't like Michael Cera in this role. I usually don't like him in movies, period, just because I don't like the kind of character he plays, and he didn't really fit a lot of Scott Pilgrim's character, but that's just my opinion. So if you're a fan of the comics, go see it. You won't be too disappointed. If you're a harder ass than me when it comes to these, you might have a few more bones to pick, but I was okay with it. Let's face it, they're taking a 6-volume series and compressing it into a single movie, and they did pretty damn well with that. And even if you haven't read the books, if you're just up for some for a pretty good mixture of action and comedy plus some really cool visual effects, I really like the visual in this movie, then I recommend you go see it. It's my review. Tomorrow, or I guess today, later after I sleep like the dead, I'm going to see The Expendables with, well, frankly, with everybody. Everybody who's ever been in an action movie is going to be in that movie. All the great actors of history, all our current actors, and Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I guess Steve Austin's in it too. But I'll be seeing that, and I might put a review of that up. But before I close this out, and before I lose consciousness, keep an eye open this weekend. I've recorded a special Let's Play. And more, don't worry, more Knights of the Old Republic will be going up. But I recorded a special Let's Play, and that Let's Play will not be going up on this channel. It will be going up on the channel of the person who I did the Let's Play with. So keep an eye open for that update announcement. I'll put that up once the video goes up. So for now, I'm going to go comatose for a few hours and hallucinate vividly. I'm Trascanari. I'll see you guys later.